What's up, guys? This is Daze. I'm coming at you with the Cloupor Mini review. Well, as you guys might know if you watched the last video, I got this device a couple months ago from a friend when my e-leaf broke. It was the 20 watt e-leaf, and basically the spring in the top piece broke on me, and it was doing all kinds of crazy things. I think I went over some of it in the other video, so if not, go back and watch that. If so, I'm not going to get that deep into that right now. But this Cloupor Mini is a great device. I love it. And I know you guys, if you're interested in this device, you've probably watched enough reviews to know enough about it now. If not, you know, maybe this could turn you on to a device that you had never even thought about before. With some of the crazy devices out there, I know when you go into some vape shops, they're pushing the e-leaf line like crazy. I might be biased against them for my own personal experiences, but you know, if that's what you choose, that's what you choose. But you got a lot of devices in this range, and this isn't too extreme of a device. It would be great for somebody, either I would recommend it for somebody who's been vaping for a little bit, at least a couple months, and kind of wants to take their vaping a little bit further, but isn't really interested in blowing all those clouds. You can, of course, get some impressive clouds out of this thing. I'm not going to take that away from it. Just to prove that, I'll show you a quick little hit. Yeah, that's a really good hit. Of course, that's at the full 30 watts. This is a variable voltage, variable wattage device. It goes from 7 watts to 30 watts, and from 3.6 volts to 7 volts is what the website is showing. It'll read any atomizer from 0.45 ohms all the way up to 3.0 ohms. So you have a wide range, a lot of things you can do with it. I know a lot of the old Ego styles, I don't think this comes with an Ego adapter, but if you do have one from another device, or just in case it did come with one, you can run one of the old Ego style tanks on it, which I wouldn't recommend. I mean, you don't get into this type of device to run the old technology. But what I do recommend is if you have the Aspire Nautilus series, it's a great series of tanks. This so happens to be the Mini. And I'm not going to get too much into this because, well, this isn't a stock Mini. I have my own rebuilt coil in it, and I'll show that to you guys later. Not real in depth, but I will prove that that's a rebuilt coil and not the original coil in the device. But this is the basic screen layout. You have your 30 watts. You have, this is reading out at what, 0.52, 0.53 ohms. I can't see it from where I'm at. And then you have your variable voltage and your battery life. So what's nice about this device is when you set it at a certain wattage, when you press the power button, here we'll go ahead and throw it at, we'll just put it at 21 watts because that's what it is. You can see 0 volts right there. But when I fire it, it's flashing to let me know that that wattage is too low for this resistance tank. But when I fire it, you can see that it came up with 3.32 volts, and that's pretty much the voltage required to get to that wattage. A lot of the older devices didn't have that. Like I'm thinking of the original MVP, which was only an 11 watt device, but you had to set everything independently. And I can tell you from experience, I run this tank with the stock 1.6 ohm coil on this device at 9.8 watts. And I've put the same tank with the same coil on the MVP original and put it all the way up and didn't get as good of a hit off of it. I'm not sure why that is, but I think it has to do with the fact that this adjusts your volts to match the wattage that you're looking for. Now, you can switch those over if you want to. It's power and volume down to switch between voltage and wattage. So on wattage, just hold the volume down and the power, and it'll switch over to voltage. But I'm just going to let you guys know now, it's a lot easier. I've had this device for months. I never run it in voltage mode. I always run it in wattage mode because it adjusts the volts for you. There's no need to switch between the modes and change them. And obviously when you're working with a number of 7 to 30, it's a lot bigger of a number than 3.6 to 7. So you're going to have a lot more fine tuning with the wattage. And it gives you the proper amount. Yeah, let's try this again. So on wattage, just hold the volume down and the power, and it'll switch over to voltage. But I'm just going to let you guys know now, it's a lot easier. I've had this device for months. I never run it in voltage mode. I always run it in wattage mode because it adjusts the volts for you. There's no need to switch between the modes and change them. And obviously when you're working with a number of 7 to 30, it's a lot bigger of a number than 3.6 to 7. So you're going to have a lot more fine tuning with the end. To tell you guys that, I have to recommend it. It's a very solid device. I mean, you can hear, I don't know, you can hear the battery door. It does have a magnetic battery door. You can see the two magnets right there, and they just clip onto the two magnets right there. And that battery door is a little loose, but that is the only one of two negative things that I found about this device. The other one is you see how the screen's off. If I press the fire button right there, it didn't start firing until the screen turned on. And P. Basardo did it. He hooked it up to one of his machines he has. It's exactly 0.8 seconds from the time you press the button to do that. Once the screen's on, it fires right away. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it fires right away once the screen is on. So it's something you'll have to get over if you're considering this device, or just kind of learn to overlook it. What I do is, I know if I haven't touched it for a while, when I pick it up, I reach for that button and tap that button. And then by the time I get it up to my mouth, you know, it's ready to go. So I'm not going to get into all the high-tech specs and make a 40-minute video over this device, because, like I said, you guys have probably seen it. I'm going to mention some of the things that I really think should be looked into. You know, some of the things that I think you should consider when deciding whether to purchase this device or not. One thing is the battery door. I don't know if this is going to be an issue for you, but if you bump it the wrong way, it's off. It's gone. That is a big downside in my opinion. And then also, I don't know if you can see the crease right there. The battery door doesn't fit 100% into the slot. So it's nothing you can really feel. It's just when you look at it, you happen to see that little hairline crack, and it does drive you a little nuts at times. You can switch this device from left mode to right mode, and then it displays the other way. Right mode and left mode. And I really like that. I hold it in my right hand most of the time, so I keep it on my left mode. I don't know why that is, just because I feel it's easier, you know, if you're holding the device, tilt it this way and there's the screen. But that's all personal opinion. I really like the feel of the device. The feel of the device is what really sold me on it. From the feeling of the texture of the finish to the weight. This thing, when you pick it up, you know you're holding something. One of the problems I had with my E-Leaf was it was real light. It was real chintzy. Even though there was a little bit of weight to it, it just felt like not a very solid weight. And this thing feels solid. It's not heavy by any means, but it feels solid. You know, it feels like quality, and that's what sold me on it. I like the clickiness of the buttons. I don't know if you can hear this, but that is the clickiness of the buttons. They're very clicky. You feel it under your finger, but it's not something that's super loud and annoying that's going to bug somebody next to you if you're sitting there playing with your buttons, or if you just happen to hit the button to take a hit. It's not going to be a super loud click. Those are pretty much the best things I could recommend. I know a lot of people take this into consideration. This is a micro USB charge port, so if you have an Android device, pretty much any Android charger will work to charge this device up. So you throw your single 18650 battery in there and you'll never need to take it out. I do know that charger charges it a little slow. I find it a lot faster if I just, throw it on charge in my battery charger and then put a different battery in it for the time being. But when I go to bed at night, I plug this in, and the battery's completely charged by morning. Battery life on this is really good as long as you're not sub-ohming. If you're using a Nautilus or Nautilus Mini or any Kanger tank in the, let's say, 1.6 to 2 ohm range, you're going to get great life. Even this coil in here I rebuilt by myself, and it happens to read out at 1.12, and that is on the Nautilus Mini 1.12. So, but this thing, if you have a full battery, it'll last you over a day with a device like this. So, nothing too insane, but it does hit. Actually, this coil is starting to go a little bit bad on me myself. I have to rebuild another one. But yeah, it's really nice. I think my next mod to this tank would be drilling out the air hole just a little bit more, because I like something a little bit more open. That's why I bought the Atlantis. It wasn't for the clouds, it was for the way it produces the vapor. But yeah, this thing will fit just about anything. I also do gotta say that this has the adjustable Phillips screw down inside. I don't know how well my lighting is, so I don't know if you can see it, but this is not spring loaded. I prefer that, and I'll tell you why. Driver and twist it out, but how many times when you're out on the road driving down the road, you're going to sit there and switch your tank and have to readjust that screw? Not very often. I hope you're not doing that at all. So for the most part, every device I've screwed on here, I haven't even needed to adjust that screw. I think I backed it out one time, screwed my first device onto it, my first tank, and I haven't touched it since. Every other device has made a good connection. But in the event that you need to do that, I back it out, and then when you screw on your device, once it makes a connection, it'll screw it down with the tank and make a good connection for you. So I don't really see it being that big of a problem, but other people might disagree. So in the end, I really recommend this device for anybody just looking to take their vaping to the next step. If you want to start working with RDAs, while this isn't the best device for an RDA, I'd recommend a mech mod or some kind of unregulated box mod, or even a higher wattage regulated box mod like a Sigelli or an IPV or something along those lines. If you do have one of these and you see an RDA and you want to kind of learn to build, this is great. The way the ohms read out, it gives you a more detailed look at the ohm resistance, and you can build on this device. RDAs work just fine on it. If you want to work with RTAs, or you know, if you want to get into sub-ohming with your 0.5 ohm coils, or if you're just looking for an everyday vape like this little Nautilus does, this combination right here will stay with me for a long time. I'll throw it in the glove box in my truck, and when I need it, it's there. You know, if I'm out and this runs out of juice, or my battery dies in my other device, I'll have this in there fully charged up, and all I gotta do is reach for it. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. Be on the lookout. I am going to be doing some more reviews. I'm looking into purchasing a new device myself. I do purchase all my devices with my own cash. I'm trying to decide between the Sigelei 100 watt plus, the Sigelei 150, the IPv3, which is 150 watt box mod, and the IPv4, which is only 100 watt, but it does have the temperature control, which might be cool to play with. Some of the other things is juice reviews. If you guys are near Greensburg, Pennsylvania, by any chance, Tales from the Drift, it's a really good line from the local shop here in Greensburg. Actually, their website is right there, www.visvapes.com. I know that looks like a U, but you're welcome to check them out. Some of their juices are the best I've tried. I've tried tons of juices, you know, some really high-end juices, and this stuff is 15 bucks a bottle. That's what, 2/3 of the price of some of your other high-end stuff, and it tastes a lot better. Not only that, they have flavor combos that I have yet to see anywhere else. This one's banana nut crunch. I'm sure this one's been done. It's a natural banana flavor with nuts and like a cinnamon granola. This one's delirium. It's actually banana peanut butter cake with a chocolate drizzle. And a couple of the other ones they have I really like are muffin tops, which is blueberry muffins, and Oculus, which is an apple cinnamon oatmeal. So definitely be on the lookout for that. It's great stuff. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.